Alrighty, welcome to my recording setup. So today I just wanted to make it very bare bones for your setup. I'm going to show you a few add-ins you could have if you have some spare money that could maybe enhance your recording setup a little more. But this is just the basic one that if you're thinking, okay, I want to record but I don't have a lot of money, this is the setup for you. So I'm going to start with my keyboard. Now you may already have a keyboard at your house, and I'll show you how you can plug that into your laptop. But this is actually different than keyboard. This is what I call a MIDI keyboard, and actually everyone calls that, but I also call that a MIDI keyboard. The difference with a MIDI keyboard is it actually does not play on its own, and it doesn't turn on because there is no way to plug it into a wall. There are some that you can plug into the wall, and actually, pretty much any piano can act as a MIDI keyboard onto your computer. But this one is a little cheaper. It is my Novation Launch Key 49, and it's awesome because I'm a college student, don't have a lot of money, but I wanted to buy something that I'd be able to record my laptop on. So this is what I recommend to anyone. You can get different sizes. Mine has 49 keys, but you can get 68. You can get, all different. You can even get smaller. There's some people who only have 12, just a single octave. But yeah, this is what I have. So the way it plugs in, if you look over here, I have a two-way USB plug-in. This goes into my MIDI keyboard, and this actually goes right into my computer. And once you plug it in, it actually kind of lights up for a second, which is pretty cool. So once you get that plugged in, it'll be automatically connected to your computer. But let's say you're like, oh, David, what are you talking about? I don't have a MIDI keyboard. I have a regular keyboard. Well, so what you're going to do is you're going to come over here and let me introduce you to my little friend called Audio Interface. So this is a small one. If you know anything about audio interfaces or heard that name, you might have seen one that's like 3 times the size of this. But this is my small little one. I like it. It's called a Focusrite Solo. And this is what I use to record pretty much vocals, guitars, pianos, everything. The way it works is all the signals that come through, like so if you say your mic, it's coming through the audio interface and then going into your computer. And basically what it does in a very non-professional sense, I'm just going to say it just enhances your sound. It is a little more deeper than that, but basically all around you're going to get better sound if you wire your connections through the audio interface and into the computer. It also works as a preamp. So it bypasses any type of amp that you need. So then this connects double USB just into your computer. So just like that, you've got 2 connections through your MIDI keyboard and through your audio interface. So I'm going to have you look at the front of this audio interface for a second, just so you can familiarize yourself with it if you never have. So my particular one has two inputs. This one is specifically used for vocals, as you can see by the little microphone there. And this one can be used for any type of line in. If you can see here, this is a 1/4-inch line in connection. So you could actually even plug in a guitar here. You can plug in your piano here. Anything with a 1/4-inch line in. And then I have my microphone. This is my Rode NT1A. It's a decent priced one. You could definitely get a cheaper one. And then this right here is a pop filter. If you don't know, it kind of just filters out all excess sounds. Just kind of like the audio interface, and it enhances your sound. Any type of like spit or anything you do when you're singing, it's going to be filtered out by this filter. So then I have it connected into my interface here. As you can see here, I got knobs. These are your volume knobs, and this is the master volume knob. In the back, there are connections to line outputs, which basically you can connect to studio monitors or any type of speakers you have. Currently, I'm just going to use my laptop speakers, and I'll show you how to do that in Ableton right after this. But yeah, so this is my basic setup. It's fairly simple. Last thing I want to say is, if you're noticing that, hey, why can't I record vocals? Why isn't it actually going through your system? Well, first thing you want to check is this little button right here. It's called Phantom Power. And when you turn it on, mine lights up, and that's how you know that there is power to the microphone. And when you turn it off, you're not going to be able to actually record anything from your vocals. They do that with vocals as a kind of a protection, so just keep that in mind. Today I'm just going to be using my MIDI keyboard, my microphone with the pop filter, my audio interface, and my laptop, and of course my candle. Let's get started. Right, so after you've opened Ableton Live, the first thing you're going to want to do is click on Live and go to your preferences, and you're going to want to make sure that your audio input device and audio output device are the correct ins and outs. This is basically your frequencies. All of them are going through the in, and all of the outs are going through the outs. Mine are all going through my audio interface, so I'm going to choose Scarlett Solo, and all of my outputs are going to go through built-in outputs. But if you had studio monitors that were connected to your interface, you're going to choose the Scarlett Solo or whatever other interface that you have. But this is good for me, so yes. So now that I've started, you'll see that there's a little green thing going up and down, and it kind of correlates with my voice. Yes, that means that I am connected to Ableton. Great. Right now I'm just going to actually delete the other two tracks. Those were the two MIDIs and the other audio, and I'm just going to focus on this audio. It's going to be my vocals. I always like to name things to make sure that I get everything straightened out. So down here, I'm going to make sure that my track is on. This is how you turn it off and on. This is how you solo it, which I'm not going to do. And then I'm going to make sure it's armed for recording. So if I want to record anything, and I want to make sure I'm hearing myself as I'm singing or playing the piano or whatever, I'm going to make sure I have monitoring on. So briefly, you're going to hear kind of a double voice because you're hearing it also come out of my computer speakers. I'm going to turn that off. But if you had, let's say, headphones connected to your computers through a headphone jack, then you'd be able to hear your vocals through your headphones, which is really nice for making sure you're matching your pitch, you're not, going flat or whatever. So that would be how you turn on monitoring, but I'm going to keep it off just because I don't need to hear myself. And so other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to connect my piano at this moment. I'm going to go to just a default piano. So yeah, I already have it down here. I'm going to click on Grand Piano. If you want a brief preview of all the sounds, you just kind of click on them. But I'm going to use this one right here. Perfect. All right. So now we have two tracks. And we are ready to record. Awesome. Alrighty, so we're ready for recording. First thing you're going to want to do if you want to make sure that you're recording piano and vocals at the same time, is you're going to want to control click the record button and turn off ARM exclusive. If you had it on, it would only let you ARM one at a time for recording, but if you turn it off, now you can do both. Alrighty, so you can hear both at the same time. So I'm just going to record a brief little thing that I am working on, a song that I'm working on right now, so you get a real picture into what I'm doing. I just changed the tempo to 6/8 time, and I'm going to actually change it to 82 beats per minute and make sure that my metronome is highlighted so it's turning on and gives me, I'm going to get 2 bars of intro. If I were just to record vocals, I would press this little circle right here. If I were just to record piano, I'd press this little circle right here. But since I'm recording both at the same time, I'm going to press this total record button, and it's going to start. I'm a peasant with a girl on my mind, digging for gold in a mine, to forge a ring for a look in her eyes, but her castle's too high to climb. Alright, turn that metronome off. So, alright, so we did it. We recorded together. I'm going to turn off monitoring and turn off these and just play both of these together. And to do that, I'm going to click this little play button on the end. It's going to play both at the same time. I'm a peasant with a girl on my mind. To look at what you are recording, you're just going to double click. And you can see the wavelengths over here for the vocal and for the piano. Awesome. I won't go too far into editing, but briefly, a little bit about editing. So you see here that MIDI, or the piano, are notes that I can move. I can move single notes and change them up and down and do whatever I want. I can actually create my own chords. But for the vocal, I cannot do that. I can't change any of these frequencies because they're already saved and recorded. That's the difference between vocal and, or I guess audio and MIDI. MIDI, you can change what you're doing. audio you cannot. So there you go. That's the basics on recording your songs. I can't wait to hear what you create out of this, and I hope you learned something. If you have any questions, feel free to comment below on the video, and I will do my best to answer any question that you have. Thank you. This is David. I'm signing off.